Welcome to our viewers in Nigeria and across Africa. It's the conversation on TOS TV Network. And of course, it's such a bright Thursday morning here in Abuja, Nigeria capital city. Bright because it's quite sunny early in the morning. And I feel like it's going to be a really good day. I hope you're geared up for everything that the day is going to present to you today. Well, my name is Ade Suwalsi.
And my name is Merciful Ajunamo. Good morning, Ade.
Good morning, Merciful. Good to be here. Good to be back here today, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel really energetic. I feel really vibed up and everything.
You must have
and it's
slept
just
really
24.
well.
Of course, I slept well. It was 24th day of June, and it feels like the month is running so fast.
I know.
We were here like just yesterday or
I
some
know.
days back saying Happy New Month and everything.
Happy New Month. The month is wrapping up already. I think the year is like running by really fast.
I think so too. I really do think so. And the weather is so calm. Everything is just okay.
Yes, I think I like the weather. Quite sunny, but yeah, it's good. Okay, with that, we'll bring you the quote of the day, and of course, after that, we'll be, bringing you up to speed with happenings and stories from across the African continent.
Always remember,
This man I have creative design. We really like it, but
you deserve a break. You can indulge in a cup of 3-in-1 Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Cadbury Hot Chocolate. Indulge. Now available in the 450 grams pouch.
All right, we dive right into the story. So it was yesterday that Merciful and Saga, brought you a video of a flooded National Assembly here in Nigeria, and saw people scooping water out of all of that. Well, today the Senate President, that's Ahmed Lawan, is saying Nigerians should not blame them for the National Assembly roof leakage. He says you should not blame lawmakers for the non-rehabilitation of the National Assembly, which led to its leaking roof following a downpour on Tuesday. He explained that the Federal Capital Development Authority was in charge of the maintenance of the structures in the National Assembly premises, and added that the leadership of the National Assembly sometime in 2019 met with the President Muhammadu Buhari on the need to rehabilitate the Federal Parliament. I think you should reiterate what you said yesterday about...
So we were of the opinion that 7 billion was used to build the apartment.
Yes,
that's what I like to call it.
Exactly.
But the money that was used to renovate it was more than 100% of the money.
Yes.
So we're trying to say, if we cannot ensure that transparency, accountability is being shown in this case, and we're still having to come and see footages of the National Assembly leaking, when a huge sum of money was approved for the renovation, then really, what are we doing? And now the Senate President is saying that Nigerians should not blame us. How do we not blame them?
No, he's saying blame the federal government. Who is in charge
of supervision?
Blame the FCDA, because we've met them and we said, look, we need to rehabilitate this place. You guys are responsible for it, so do that. And
but money was released. And when Nigerians hear that money was released, they need to see work being done. We are tired of hearing budget money, billions, millions released for something, and still we keep seeing loopholes. That's what we're asking for accountability.
Maybe it wasn't that important. I mean, it's just a roof. Probably it wasn't that important.
But it made the news. It did make the news.
I was being sarcastic.
All right, we move over to the next story. That's federal government to sue airlines breaching Disability Act, signing anti-PLWD's policies. The federal government of Nigeria has threatened legal actions against airlines and other operators who have failed to comply with laws concerning persons living with disabilities in Nigeria. It also condemned the situation where it becomes difficult for a particular category of persons to enjoy public facilities, especially the airport. I think I quite agree with this.
Yes, I mean, inclusion for everyone. Imagine having to go to maybe a public facility, and because you're living with disability, you cannot access the facility. There's no walkway for your wheelchair and all of that stuff. It's already difficult having to live with disability. So there should be structures to make it a little bit easier, a lot more easier for them to actually live.
Totally agree with that.
Buy with that into that one. All right, moving still on Nigeria, the federal government breached its own law and it fails to remit workers' pension. Now, it has been 7 years since the federal government amended the Pension Reform Act. However, it is yet to comply with its own law. The Pension Reform Act, which stipulated that employers should remit 18% of workers' monthly emolument into their RSAs, was promulgated in 2004. And earlier stipulated that workers and employers contribute 7.5% each of the monthly emolument into the workers' RSA with their respective pension fund administrators. While most private sector employees have complied, the federal government had continued to remit the old amount of 15% into the workers' RSAs 7 years after it was amended. I think pensions fraud is a big issue in Nigeria.
It's one of the biggest
It's one of the
issue,
big
yeah.
that we're still having to, contend.
I remember there was a
Nigeria.
time we're always saying a couple of protests, old people coming to, popular places saying, look, we need all of these things in place.
It is not just, it's not even just old people. You, me as young persons, you have a couple of young persons who work in both private and public parastatals, and they get to actually, deduct it from your pay that, okay, we're deducting this money for pension, but they do not remit
it to the account.
So basically, you don't know where it's going, right? They're deducting it, but you're not seeing it reflecting. That's one aspect of it. And then the other aspect of it that's been spoken about here is the aspect where they said remit this percentage, but you remit a lower percentage. And I think they're basically saying, look, it was the government that even came up with this law, but it's still public parastatals that are not actually even complying, which is actually, very tacky.
That is, because if we cannot hold the government accountable for the laws, I like to call them simple laws, because these are written in white and black, they are in text. So if we cannot comply, then what are we really expecting the masses, the people outside, to do?
Well, yeah, that's what it is.
All right, we move over to the next story. This is talking about the Nigeria Labour Congress to resume strike in Kaduna State over a breach of a memorandum of understanding. The NLC Kaduna chapter, that's the Nigeria Labour Congress, has vowed to resume its suspended strike over alleged breach of the memorandum of understanding signed with the state government. The Labour president, Ayuba Waba, made the statement while briefing newsmen at the end of an emergency meeting of the National Executive Council in Abuja on Tuesday. Waba accused the state governor, Nasir El-Rufai, of failing to respect the MOU brokered between the NLC and the state government by the federal government.
I'm tired of this back and forth. It's like they're always looking for the quickest solution to a long-term problem. Let's just fix it now. So let's just tell them that, okay, we're going to work on it.
So we'll curl everything down, people go about the normal activities.
When we could just look at a long-term solution, what is it that we should do? What is it that we should put in place? What can we agree to? How can we come to an equilibrium to ensure that we meet in the middle and we don't have to have, labor strikes and all of that stuff? Imagine the impact of the one earlier had, I think it was 2 months ago, in Kaduna State. Everything was shut down. We had all of the process, and then we have people saying, look, we're going to arrest you guys and all of that stuff. And now they're saying we're going back to the streets because the government is refusing to meet up with the memorandum of understanding signed. And I think that's
That's really bad. According to reports, the NLC is accusing the state government of saying one thing and doing another. And we're talking about a democracy system where things are done very smoothly, where we've signed, look, this is my end of the bargain. I've met it halfway. You come and meet me halfway too. And yet something is still being done against all of what we've discussed. So next time, if there is some sort of a disagreement, they will say, we have to ensure that you fulfill your end of the bargain too. And that's not really good, because we keep going on strike, going out of strike, going into strike, and people are left without jobs for a while.
I tell you that.
And now remember the no pay policy that they came up with?
Yeah.
If it happens for the state government in Kaduna, they will be affected by it.
Exactly. You know what I feel the problem is here? It's we know how this goes. We're used to it. So they just go on strike, and then we'll come back to that. It's what it is. I think that's what's wrong here, over familiarity.
I really do hope that we get all of this sorted as quick as possible.
Exactly. All right. With that, we'll bring you, COVID-19 updates from across Africa, and then after that, we'll be diving straight into front pages of Nigerian dailies this morning.
North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Watch us on television, channel 138 on TSTV Africa.
It's good to have you glued to the conversation, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, that is TOS Television. And this is the time where I tell you have to be a part of our social media community. Follow us across all our social media platforms displayed on your screen: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and live stream our content on our website www.tostvnetwork.com. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so now so you do not miss out on our amazing content. That is TOS TV Network. It is the conversation, and this segment is the newspaper segment. And we'll begin with the Blueprint newspaper for today. From the very top, Nigeria lost 4 billion naira to fuel smuggling in May. That is 2021, and that's coming from NNPC. We can find that story on page 24 of the Blueprint newspaper. Over to the banner headline: ACF to Ohaneze Afenifere, protect Northerners in Southeast Southwest. We have two riders on the story. The first assures safety of Igbo in the north, laments poor attention to nomadic education, and the second says failure of local government system responsible for insecurity. All of this can be found on page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper.
All right, moving away from the Blueprint newspaper to the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, starting from the very top. Buhari has nothing to do with media bills. That's coming from the presidency. And under that, riverine communities decry rot in inland waterways. So that's the headline on the Daily Trust newspaper this
We move over to the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. From the very top, we see NCDMB, Nexim sign agreement on $30 million capital capacity building fund. That can be found on page 33. And the banner headline there, the very conspicuous headline says, Corruption War. Nigeria recovers $700 million asset in 6 years. And that is coming from Professor Owasanoye. The writer underneath the story urges African governments to prioritize asset recovery. And just side by side with the picture of the day there, while Lagos lawmakers approved Sanwo-Olu's 85 billion naira bond request. We can find out on page 21, and a couple of other headlines there on the News Direct newspaper.
All right, the last newspaper we're going to be looking at is the front page of the Leadership newspaper, starting from the gaping headline. That's the banner headline there, and it's on insecurity. Sheikh Gumi fingers military, police and bandits operation, accuses security agencies of aiding terrorists, say government taking sides. It's a calculated attempt to denigrate military. That's coming from the army. We're used to the cleric's allegations. That's coming from police. Northern governors meet PMB, that's President Muhammadu Buhari, over worsening insecurity, and military Nasani strategize on locally made weapons. And on 2023 elections, Northern youth back Bala Mohammed for presidency. That's on page 9. And beside that one, President Muhammadu Buhari disowns controversial media bills. And that's on page 6. There are quite a number of other headlines on the Leadership newspaper this morning. Get yourself a copy so you can be fully abreast with everything happening here today.
Yeah, we have quite a number of headlines across all of the national dailies for this morning. So Nigerians, everyone just pick up a copy of all of these newspapers and read about all of the stories I've read out for you from the newspapers this morning. And that's what we have for you on the newspaper segment of the show. We'll take a break now, and when we return, we'll be taking you through the big story.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. Eat the farm, say it's happy. You want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself, oh. Quickly,
whatever your size. Find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smart.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust to provide effective relief and is gentle on the stomach. Try Panadol Caplets for relief from headaches, body aches, and fever. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet gently breaks down in the stomach, quickly absorbs, and starts providing pain relief in 15 minutes. For fast and effective pain relief that you can trust, try Panadol Caplets. This has been Medifact for Panadol.
You're welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned to The Conversation, showing on your digital first Pan-African News Network. Don't forget, you can always be a part of our social media community. Just see the details on the scroll bar on the screen just now. Follow us across our social media handles: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And of course, you can live stream our program on our website, www.TOSTVNetwork.com. It is The Conversation, and this segment is the crux of the show. That is the big story. And this morning we focus on how the ban of police barracks and adoption of community policing will solve insecurity in Nigeria. And joining us on the show via the telephone is Jonathan Onoja, a security expert. You're welcome to the show this morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Sage.
Yeah,
good morning to your television, and good morning to Nigeria.
Thank you for joining us on the show this morning, sir. All right. First of all, could you demystify the concept of community policing and how effective it can be?
Well, unfortunately, the network here today in Nigeria is not favorable, and I don't know why it has been like this.
I think it's the weather. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Pardon?
We can hear you loud and clear. Go on.
Can you hear me over there?
Yes, we can.
Hello?
We can hear you, Mr. Jonathan.
I may have to reconnect back to you.
That's fine.
Please.
That's fine.
That's okay. All right, we'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll be having Jonathan again on the phone. Do stay. You're welcome back to The Conversation. I think we have Mr. Jonathan now. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning to you. So you were about to explain the true concept of community policing and how effective it can be.
Yes, it's to let Nigerians and also the Nigerian police to know that the true concept of what we call community policing is a community versus the police.
Okay.
But unfortunately, are you with me?
Yes. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Now, like I was saying, the true concept of community policing is the community versus the police. But very unfortunately, because of the whole deficit of trust of Nigerian police with the Nigerian public, it has become very difficult for us to implement the true concept of community policing. When we talk about community policing, we talk about the police familiarizing with where the natives are well concentrated, studying intelligence, talk about how the police are going to solve problems, and how the police are going to also implement the true concept of policing in the community. But like I said, because of this failure from the authority of the police personnel, the traditional rulers are taking even that position. That is what they see, for instance, when the woman or a widow whose land is taken unlawfully by somebody in the community to report to the chief, the nearest chief of the district. Why? Because when she got to the nearest division and report our ordeal to the police, at the end of the day, it is who pay the piper that now determines the tune again. The government does not have the capacity, financial capacity, to fight the case. Now, this is why you see that the traditional rulers have taken over these positions. So at this moment, when we talk about, that is why you see the answers. Nigerians who are supposed to even protect police, and also police are supposed to protect Nigerians that have problems. Why were police killed during the answers? Because they felt that the police were against what the institution called the Nigerian people. So if we talk about community policing, the first thing I expect the IG to do is to first regain the trust of Nigerians. If the trust of Nigerians are regained, I am telling you today, the issue of community policing will become a freeway.
Okay.
But if this continue and we still expect people to take bribe just to mess the case up, to take bribe and to judge people wrongly, then I tell you the truth, the issue of community policing cannot work. Because for now, that is why police are lacking in intelligence. When you not see something, you have to say something. But the reverse is the case. When you say something, you become a victim and become a suspect instead of a victim. That is why, see, when Nigerians have information, even for them to dispose this information becomes very difficult.
Yeah, very
but
true.
if they have gone to where the natives are concentrated and they have this pally, attached with them, have an understanding of what to do with them. They're not, if they say police are your friends, are they truly your friends? If the bail is free, is bail truly free? When we talk about the fairness on the part of police, are we talking that they have stopped collecting the money on the checkpoint? Are they not intimidating our people? If police are going to become part of the institution in the community as community policing or community-oriented policing, then there must be a need for a special sensitization programs channeled from the office of the Inspector General of Police, the Commission of Police Service Commission, and also the community will be taken along in all of these programs.
Okay, so
to ensure that there's a new police in this era, in this dispensation.
So you're saying that putting all of this in place, community policing would actually be very effective, in combating insecurity here in Nigeria.
Hello, come again, please.
Can you hear me? You're putting all of this into consideration, everything that you've said. So you're basically of the opinion that community policing, if implemented, would actually be effective, in combating insecurity in Nigeria.
Well, I have to apologize that my network on my end is bad.
Oh wow!
I have to still apologize that the communication is not.
Similar.
It's not too good.
But can you hear me right now?
I can hear you right now.
Okay.
But the question you're posing, I don't get it clear.
Okay, no problem. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat the question. So what I was saying was, are you of the opinion that community policing, if implemented properly, would be effective against insecurity in Nigeria?
Yes, if well implemented, if the two necessary steps have been taken, it is going to help, because the police don't even before now, police are not supposed to be in the barracks. Police are supposed to be within the people. They're supposed to be among the people to gather what we call intelligence. And also supposed to interface with the community to know where the problems are. But because they have failed, they are now running. They are now trying to run for a rescue. They want to go and get a rescue. They want to go for a rescue mission by saying that you go and have a barracks. That is not forward. If they have the institution structured, the process, implement it in a better way that Nigerians can understand that police are truly our friends. Police are, look, when you talk about police cannot be isolated from the community. Why? Because they're living there day in, day out.
Yes.
They're not like the army who have barracks. They are not like the army who don't come out, they only go to wage war. That is the primary duty of the army, to wage war against external aggression. But police settle dispute. They understand what it's supposed to be. They are supposed to be a form of ADR. The police are supposed to be the kind of the alternative dispute resolution between the offender and even the victim. All of these things are supposed to be done first. If well done. We should not be having more cases in our courts today.
Okay, so
The judicial system don't have much problem.
Okay.
So it is over to the Nigerian Police Authority to do the needful and implement community policing. But before they can do anything community policing, the interest and also the trust of the Nigerian people must begin before anything called community policing.
Okay.
Because it is always community versus the police.
All right, you did mention that the Nigerian police should do the needful to implement, community policing in the country. So why do you think there's been a delay in the adoption of community policing?
Why do you do what?
Why do you think there's been a delay in adopting community policing in Nigeria? Why are we experiencing a delay?
The delay of this adoption is because, like I have said, it is centered on trust. It is still centered on trust. Because they know it's going to be wishy-washy. When after the analysis of the VIG, I don't want to mention this operation of the department. I think I mentioned it one way or the other, but I know I don't want to mention. Let it may come from me. And he said, Nigerians are the problems. How can Nigerians be the problems? That Nigerians are the hardest people to govern in this country. You see, the way we handle our suspects in Nigerians does not make them forthcoming. There are times they apply force in it. They are Nigerians. Look, there are intelligence that we lack. There are natural intelligence that we lack. There is a way you treat your child. And when the time the elder sister or the younger sister misbehave, even before you ask, he has reported them to you.
Yes.
He will be forthcoming. Why? Because he gains your trust. You understand that he knew what you are going to do. But not in an instance when you give reports to the current Nigerian police we are having and you become the suspect. Nigerians are afraid to give intelligence reports. Look, instead of intelligence report to Nigerian police, some natives have tried to give reports to local vigilantes and to chiefs because they believe in them more. It's not just known that the traditional system is becoming something else. People run to the traditional chief to give them intelligence. Some of the things that these chiefs have, the chiefs don't have it. The chief from the Inspector Police don't have it.
All right.
Yes. It is all to the issues of trust. Or if the trust is regained, we cannot function. Until the trust is regained, there cannot be policing community effectively, also in Nigeria.
All right, and you're saying to gain, we're out of time, sorry, this is the last question, and you're saying to gain that trust back, the next line of action will be to ban the barracks and integrate police officers with the community, right?
I will simply pardon because of the poor network system.
That's fine, that's fine. I'll take it slower. So you're saying to gain the trust of Nigerians with the police system, you're saying that to gain that trust, the police and barracks must be banned and they must be integrated with community members, right?
To bring back the trust that Nigerians need, to bring back the trust that the society needs, to bring back the trust that the institutions itself needs, there is a need for at least an example from the top. Because if someone has taken the lead, if we look in the other Western countries, you see their service chiefs comes out on the television, try to ask Nigerians, try to ask the citizens to give them their feedback. There's no feedback mechanism. Look, they'll just make it as a temple. Are they following it? They'll just make it as a status. Are they following it? How many times would Nigerians or the service chiefs comes on air and ask them to have a free call where Nigerians will register their displeasure over services? If the service chiefs want to have a way forward like the Nigerian police, let them open a portal. They have it already, but it's just for, what do they call it? It's for status symbol. They should come out real reality television station like that of yours, where they can interact freely with Nigerians and let Nigerians register their displeasure. Look, I tell you, if they open this avenue where Nigerians can register their displeasure, in a gap of just 20 minutes, you are going to have no less than 1 to 2 million Nigerians reporting their their unfortunate experience with the Nigerian police. So if the truth is, like I said, let us come back to sensitization program. Let there be a communication between the Police Service Commission and also with Nigerians. Let there be a communication. Let there be a portal. It is not even bad that the Nigerian police have a central data collection where around the whole 30 states they register this thing. They say they have it, but it's not functional. When you now give a report there, it is a different person that is in it. They don't have a platform where the Nigerian police is involved in getting intelligence from them.
Thank you so much. It's quite a mouthful, I must say. So much information. Thank you for being on the show this morning with us via the telephone.
I wish Nigerians the best in this situation we find ourselves.
Amen. Thank you. We apologize for the network issues we suffered while on the conversation. Thank you, viewers, for staying tuned to this program, to the conversation. Don't forget, your contributions and opinions are required, and you can submit them on our social media platforms at TOS TV Network across all of the social media platforms. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the conversation this morning. I am Merciful Ajinomo.
And my name is Adesuwa Osuyi. Please remember to stay safe always. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning.